When my family lived in Plymouth, Minnesota, my mom became really good friends with a lady named Pam Bryan. I had the biggest crush on Pam Bryan's son, so it was really fun. Pam had a sister, Sherry, who she didn't really know because they'd been separated at birth. Pam was adopted into a different home, and Sherry now lived in Alaska. As an adult, Pam went to an adoption agency and tracked her down. News cameras came, and Sherry and Pam met each other for the first time. They'd become really close sisters and were just the best of friends at this point. Eventually, we moved out of Pam's ward and I lost track of her until I was called on my mission to Anchorage, Alaska. Pam wrote my mom a note and said, "As soon as I heard that Kathy was going on a mission to Alaska, I knew she was supposed to help convert my sister." I didn't know anything about this situation until a few weeks into my time in Alaska, when I got a letter. Pam said, "2 weeks ago in the state conference, when I saw your name and your mission in my program, I knew my prayers had been answered. I don't know what will come of this, but I do believe in miracles, and I also believe that if we put our faith and trust in the Lord, He will help us find a way. My prayers and thoughts are surely with her. Her name is Sherry Hoffer. Go visit her." I wasn't assigned to the right area to teach Sherry, so I didn't feel right about going over, but finally I decided to go, and so we did. Sherry answered the door, and she started talking about the whole story of finding her sister. Then her first question was, "So Pam said that in the celestial room we could be a forever family. What's that all about?" We stayed there for 3.5 hours teaching her. It was amazing because I was able to see how the gospel really came together, so it was more of a conversion for me. Anyway, she took the bait. The spirit was so strong in that room, and I left her house feeling higher than a kite, but I was still not in her area, so I had to turn her over to 2 other sisters. Later, I learned that Pam had called her up and said, "If there is a sister by the name of Sister Sessions that knocks on your door, invite her in." Sherry mentioned several times that the elders said there was no way she would let them in because of this. And it was really funny because she was 3 houses down from the mission home. So, of course, the elders were always in the area trying to get Sherry and her family converted. But she needed me. One time, I went on splits with one of the sisters and I said, "Well, let's go and visit Sherry." Sherry drank coffee. That was one of her hard things to get over. I remember a distinct feeling in my mind to tell her that Satan was going to try to get her on this because that was a hard thing for her to do, especially since her husband wasn't a member. Anyway, it was amazing to me because she caught on with those ideas and thoughts of the gospel so easily. She felt the Spirit very strongly, and she'd been exposed to the church gradually, little bit by little bit, through what Pam had taught her and through what other people have taught her about it. I remember going into that area in February sometime, and then again in May, and eventually she was baptized on May 31st. I think that she impacted my life because throughout my mission, I had no idea why I was there in Alaska, but then this one thing I can go back to and say, I needed to be there for her because it was really neat how she wouldn't let anyone else in. She's been endowed in the temple now. Now there's a temple up in Alaska. She's doing so well, and she still keeps in contact with Pam. They're even closer together than they were before, and now they have a common link in the gospel.